You also had several instances during your career when you had to take over teams in the middle of the season, and
Yes.
that's a lot of not many coaches do that, or not many coaches like to do that, because it's a different dynamic shift and it's a different challenge. But when you before you take over this team to in the middle of the season, whether it was Maccabi, if I remember, whether it was Olympiacos, and it's
Panionios.
Panionios, yes, and it's also a different challenge that you have to deal with every time. But what questions do you ask yourself before you decide to take it over? And what questions do you ask yourself when you arrive, when you take over, when you figure out when you see the situation in real time?
First of all, I want to say that my last 3 jobs, as you said, I took over November. November is my month. But you said correctly that some coaches doesn't do this. But
that's why we're doing this podcast in November too.
Yes. Let's say when we came back from Moscow, I have some offers to coach in Greece, but I wanted to wait to find the best option for me. So Panionios came to me in November of 2012, and Panionios was a Eurocup team. So I wanted to go because, first of all, Panionios was always traditional basketball club of Greece with a big history. And I wanted to coach because it was Eurocup and Greek League. And it was one step for me, again, to the top, because it was my first time that I coached also in Eurocup, 2 games per week as a head coach, I mean. So it was big challenge. Then I will make a small introduction. Then I went to Olympiacos November in EuroLeague, one more step ahead. And then I came to Maccabi November, and Maccabi is my first head coaching job out of Greece. So always, all these 3 stages gave me something more and something one step higher. It's different when you start the season and you build the things from the beginning, and it's different when you find the situation and you need to get into the situation and to be ready to continue. My first time that I took over was in PAOK when I was assistant coach and I became head coach. That was 2000. Also, it's a little different because you know the team and you are already there, and then the head coach quit and you take over. I took over, and it's more easy, this situation, than to go in one team that you don't know.
Yes.
To start to coach November. But let's say some experience from this, what I had with PAOK, how to change things. Let's say tactically, when I went to PAOK and I took over, I didn't want to change all the tactics in 1 week. It's impossible. Let's say I knew that when I went to Panionios, I did the same thing, because if you change all the offense, let's say, or all the defense completely like upside down, this will create big hesitation to the players, and till they will make, let's say, the process, till they will learn what you want from them, you play games and you will lose the games. So there is a procedure how to do it. By the way, parenthesis here, I made a clinic now during the Corona period for the Greek Coaches Association, how to take over a team in the middle of the season. That was the thing, because it's not there is no.
I will find this clinic. I will link this in the show notes of this video.
But I think it's in Greek, so
that's okay. They can
okay.
for the Greek coaches.
Okay, but anyway, yes, when you get into the team, it's a different process. You need to be, let's say, how to say, from one side, the most important thing is to change 1 or 2 things. Let's say what I did, what I've done with Maccabi, I said, I watched the previous games, of course, and I said, we need to play faster. So one thing that, let's say, main direction, was to play faster.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say we need to change 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 down, 5 down, and to put 10 different. So I keep most part of the offense is what they had. I keep. Then I add slowly, one more. They got it. They start to play good with this. Then I put something more. What we practice and we were doing, and it was working. I kept it. What new I wanted to put, I put it slowly, not to interfere, let's say, directly and put so many things and put them in their mind, so many different information that will make them hesitate. But the main direction was to play faster and to put, let's say, some basic rules on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the tactical part. But when you get in one team, the most important part is the psychological part. So what you are doing, you have to do, is to support them and to change the psychological situation that the team have been till that moment that you took over. And this is what I was doing. Let's say general directions more.
So limited amount of information, limiting the overload of the brains of the players, and slowly getting your philosophy in it.
Yes.
And the second thing is to get the psychological, having the emotional empathy to understand the psychological distrust or
Exactly.
disorganization they were going through to help them get into the new direction.